I was talking with someone who was talking about going to confession. There was a sin they were battling, and they would go to confession, and then they'd go back to life, and then they'd recommit the sin, and they'd go back to confession, and then try and get it figured out, and then go back to life, and then recommit the sin. It was a cycle over and over and over again. And the person kept saying, I kept relapsing. And I said, to me, the beauty of your story is the fight that you have in you, that you kept coming back to confession. That a lot of people, and when I went to confession and I fell back into sin. Well, that didn't work. Off I go, figure it out myself. But I said, you fought to stay in it. You fought to go back to confession. You knew where to keep coming back to, and then eventually he was able to beat the sin and prayed through it, confessed and everything, and was through it. But seeing that I think people feel guilty for falling away or feel guilty for not sticking with it. But I find a beauty that
we'll use a phrase with the kids. Everybody's going to fall.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between falling upwards and falling downwards. And because if you have no one to challenge you or to walk with you, then you fall. Then you fall again.
Yeah.
You fall again. That's falling downwards.
Yeah.
There's other people who fall and they say, can you help me? And you lift them up. They fall again.
Yeah.
You work with them, accompany them.
Yeah.
And they keep going.
Yeah.
But now, instead of falling downwards, they're falling upwards.
Yeah.
We use that phrase a lot with the kids. And so I say, look, you're going to fall. One girl told me, she said, Father, I'm 14. Why is it so hard for me to practice chastity at 14? I could do it easier when I was 10. I said, yeah. I said, when you're 10, it's like a bicycle. Put your feet on the pedals and it's pretty easy to steer and just go where you want.
Yep.
But you're not going to stay with a bicycle all your life. Someday you're going to move to a car, but the car is a lot more complicated. You got to know where the shifter is. You got to know how to change the gears. You got to know the RPMs. You got to see the mirrors. You got to accept the responsibility. You got to go through training. You got to do a whole bunch of stuff because you have to integrate at all these levels, all these concepts and movements.
Yes.
And I said, when you were 10, you had a body of a bicycle. And now that you're 14, you're learning to have a body of a car. And now you have to integrate all these systems.
Yeah.
And we got to help the kids to be able to drive this car, which is their life, which involves who I am intellectually, emotionally, physically, socially, and spiritually.
Yeah.
So,
and then you've got the world telling them, this is how you do it. Do it this way, this will make you happy.
Do it however you want.
Yeah, whatever you want, it's all okay with us. And so, And then we get the bad rap, the church does, when we're like, there's a better way.
But the kids, sooner or later, they get kicked around, they hit the ground, they get somebody pregnant, or they have an abortion. They test these drugs, they're getting drunk, but they're feeling empty. And some of them don't come back, and that's a tragedy. But many of them come back and say, I thought I could take the shortcut.
Yeah.
It's not working.
It's not working. Yeah.
I want to go to confession. I need God's help. I want to change my life. Can you help me?